All right. Welcome to SecDSM, who is starting on time. Look what time it is, guys. 18:30 on the dot. Here we are. All right, so this is SecDSM 101. Do a little talk about business stuff. After that, after that, James Beal is going to talk about the news. And then after that, Mr. Arm's going to talk. I don't know if it's actually been at 7. We could actually do it sooner than that if you really wanted. I don't know. We could play it by ear. These times are a little... I could too. All right. After that, we have this space officially until Colin waves. What's he doing? I mean, you had volunteered to do it. All right. So, at sometime after 9, Colin is probably going to get us to all go to Star Bar. You're going, right? Oh, man, not tonight. All right, well, a lot of us sometimes go to Star Bar after, but we officially have this place until 9. They close at 10. So just a fair warning, they're really too nice and they don't kick us out at 10, so be respectful. If it's 10 o'clock, go home or to Star Bar. All right, housekeeping. So we really like this space. They really like us, so don't screw it up for us. Don't play with any of the equipment. Don't touch anything. Sometimes a panel box flies open. Just close it and pretend like nothing happened. There's some bathrooms in the hallway here. There's some bathrooms in the front out there. We don't officially have a sponsor tonight, so the sponsor table is where people are eating pizza right now. We'll get to that. Officially, we don't have a sponsor, but there is a tab, which you'll hear about in a second. 2 slides, I think. All right, so this area, this is the be quiet and listen to the speaker area. Out there is the talk and hang out and socialize area. Do that. We are rated R, technically. Doesn't really, I don't know. We've never been that edgy. Do you want me to say the thing? All right, so I'll say the thing. That means I can say fuck several fucking times and it doesn't blow our rating out of the water. But code of conduct does still apply, so rated R, but within reason. We're all professionals. This is a professional meetup. Don't do anything that would get you fired. Challenge ideas, not people. I don't know, that's all I say for this one. Sometimes Colin says more. Colin, do you want to say any more on this slide? Colin's over here now. All right, here's our board. So Colin's on the board, I'm on the board, Brandon's on the board. I think he's in the other room. You can reach us on email, Discord. There is technically a Slack, but nobody logs into it, so if you're on there, you shouldn't be anymore. Come talk to us. Big thank you to our volunteers. So you wouldn't hear me right now if it wasn't for this guy, Jared. The news, as always, is brought by James. I think I saw Jake in here somewhere. Jake does like all the CTF stuff. It's pretty amazing. Kenny's not here tonight, but she helps Jared with AV stuff quite a bit. Big thank you to everyone. We are always looking for volunteers, so ways you can help. So you can help volunteer. So for example, those chairs didn't set themselves up. So you could do that. You could help Jared set up the AV stuff, all sorts of different things. You could create a CTF. So the CTF tonight, which is on another slide, but I'll talk about it now, was by Toshana back there. Thank you. But we're always looking for somebody who can do a CTF. Otherwise, you can also donate to us through Open Collective. Open Collective is where all our financial stuff is. We need to rearrange these slides because there's a slide later that talks about the financials. It's all on Open Collective. Go look at it there. But speaking of financial stuff, we need sponsors. The store? Oh my gosh. All right, so James wants to know about merch. So there is merch. It's not on the website because Brandon says it's more expensive, and someday we'll set up a cheaper one. But if you're interested in buying merch, you can talk to me and I'll tell you how you can buy some.
Wait, okay, so you know how to buy some currently?
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody.
I just ordered a SecDSM duffel bag for probably too much money this afternoon.
If you want merch bad enough, help us set the store back up.
Anyway, we also need major sponsors. So if you remember, this slide used to have 3 logos from people that contributed a significant amount to us having this space. We don't have that again for this year. So if you know someone or you're signing some big deal or something, send them our way. For tonight, Casey's bought us our pizza again. Thank you very much, Casey's. Drinks are brought to you by a surprise benefactor, Exabeam. So there are 2 or 3 people from Exabeam here. Are you in the room? If you're in the room, wave. There's one. Everybody look. Go talk to them. Say thank you very much for the drinks. Otherwise, if you know someone who wants to sponsor a meeting, send them our way. Here's that slide I said that we need to change the order because we already talked about it. It's on Open Collective. And the CTF, which I also kind of talked about. If you have problems with it, Tashana's back there. You can talk to him. I'm going to leave this up here for a second. I don't know if anybody brought their laptops working on it. I don't even actually know what you need to do this one. Do you need a laptop? I'm assuming. I mean, that one time Tom Pohl did one from an airplane on his phone. So. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, so who is ready to be done being burnt out from holiday stuff and spending time with family and instead doing it by squeezing in security conferences? Me. So I've signed up for CypherCon and KernelCon. There's one coming up apparently March 1st through 3rd. I'm assuming it's online. The website doesn't really say, but that's the assumption that we've made. All online. I've got a thumbs up that that's all online. But we have a lot of people that go to conferences and stuff. So think about it. If you have questions, we have a conferences channel in Discord. Sometimes we share a room, carpool, stuff like that to cut the cost down. For those of us that can't always get their work to pay for everything. Speaking of Discord, join us there. We really should rearrange these slides a little. Is anybody not on our Discord? All right, everybody should be on Discord. Don't go to Slack. Oh, that's your slide. Are you ready? All right.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, I was going to say, Colin's drinking Kool-Aid. Ask him where he got that fancy glass. Alrighty, new slides. In the who's not sick and tired of NFTs already that are the biggest scam in the world, Porsche decided to launch some NFTs. Decided they were going to mint them live from the story I read instead of minting them ahead of time. And they only got about 20% of them done before their system completely crashed. So a whole bunch of phishing sites popped up afterwards. So if you really wanted a Porsche NFT, don't go out to OpenSea and try and buy one or you're going to get phished. I do love the second bullet point, though, where the resale market kicked in at OpenSea and they were cheaper. So people buying on Porsche.com or wherever the heck it was hosted at were paying more money than the people on OpenSea. If you don't want to live in the United States ever again and want to move to a non-extradition treaty country and you don't feel like you get paid enough right now, the cybercrime job ads are blowing up on the dark web. So Kaspersky put a report. There's almost 200,000 open jobs. So I don't know, can we count those in the 3.1 million open security jobs? So we'll just make it 3.5 million, just 400,000 of those are on the dark web. Huge payouts. If you're a software developer and you know how to write malware, without ChatGPT, by the way, because that's not going to write malware, even though OpenAI turned around and hired a bunch of programmers to make it program better. So I'm sure it'll be writing all the malware in 6 months, just not now. And there's a huge amount of roles out there. So if you want to be an IT admin, you want to design phishing campaigns, for the bad guys, here you go. Just don't admit it in our Discord channel because I think Jordan Lloyd's still in there and he heads up the cybercrime division of the FBI out of New York. So I wouldn't admit to him you were you were gigging on the side for an APT group. And actual good news, if you did not hear this, so Hive ransomware was a big one last year. They actually got compromised by the FBI and a couple other government and country. I think this is a worldwide organization. I think Microsoft was part of this. Took down a whole bunch of their infrastructure. But before that, they infiltrated it 6 months ahead of time, blocked $130 million worth of ransomware payments from going through properly, and took Hive down from the inside out. So luckily, that's good news for all of us trying to keep up on the bad guys and their activity. But if you can link it to a foreign government, please feel free to share and sponsor a meeting if you get $10 million from the FBI. This other big one. So we had another big report come out. Ransomware gangs has grown. So we're up to Microsoft. Their Mystic group tracks all the threat actors out there. They've got somewhere between 50 and 100 they're tracking constantly from ransomware. About 40 or 50 seem to have dropped off from last year. But we do have a huge drop in the amount of ransomware payments actually going out. So on the good side, there's, I think, I looked at it today, I think it's 59% of people that filled out the survey that Microsoft had did not pay ransomware in 2022. So we're talking about a huge hit of almost over $300 million worth of payments not going through. And then the last slide, a couple quick hits. There's a DDoS service out there called Passion that's hitting a bunch of medical institutions in the US and Europe from pro-Russian activity. So this is some of the first we haven't seen a ton of, but we have seen a decent amount of activity from Russia coming outside of the Ukraine, so tied to the Ukraine conflict. Shimmer is out there, so if you work for a school or an institution that uses Chromebooks and you're not aware of that yet, go ahead and take a look at that one because it's pretty much the ability to unenroll out of enterprise managed stuff. So if your 14-year-old has a Chromebook from school and suddenly they're watching adult material on it, you'll know why. And the last one, KeyPass. So we had LastPass get hosed a couple months ago, and KeyPass. So if you're a KeyPass user, you use KeyPass at work, be careful. KeyPass is arguing that this vulnerability does not work this way, but the breakdown is pretty much that attackers have been able to export the entire database out. So KeyPass has been LastPassed at this point. And then lastly, we'd like to do a job shout out. So if you are hiring and would like to come up and talk, tell us who you are, tell us where you work and what job positions you've got open. I'll go first. I work for a consultancy out of DC. We're an IT consultancy, do government and commercial stuff. I do threat intel, I run the threat intel team on the commercial side. But we've got a big government contract we're in the final measure of going through for some really advanced red team stuff. So if you're a red team pen tester that's got somewhere between, I think, 7 and 10 years of experience and you're interested, it's a 1 year to start, but in total 5-year contract. So the job posting's on our website. Let me know if you're interested. But if you qualify for it, it'd be probably at least a 3 to 5 year job. So that's it for me. Hunterstrategy.net. So it should be under our careers page. This one's on the government side, so I imagine it's probably secret clearance. I don't know. I meant to look at the job rec, and I don't know if it requires top secret. So secret's not too hard to get unless you're, being a bad boy back in your past. Anybody else? Going once? Nobody? Jared, you got one? All right.
I offer this one up about once a quarter. If you're looking to work for free, maybe, 15, 20 minutes a month or so, I'm always looking for volunteers that want to help set up and tear down audio video. Fortunately, we have a couple, 3, 4 people that have been helping pretty regularly, so shout out to them. But if again, sort of on the ways to get involved, if you want to help. Also afterwards, you might notice I'm a little slow getting videos up online sometimes. I've got one person that's offered to help with that, but if you're like, hey, I know how to edit videos, or I like waiting for things to upload to YouTube. Yeah, whatever works, feel free to let me know. I got some volunteer audio video work for you.
All right, so I don't know where my boss went. She's probably out front. But I think we have 2 jobs at my work, security architect, and then an DevSecOps security-ish position. So if you have interest in either of those, you can find me, and then I can introduce you to my boss. Anyone else? I think that's it. All right. So, Mr. Arm, do you want to start at 7? Cool. All right. You have about 14 minutes to use the restroom, get another drink, grab some pizza, say thank you to Exabeam, and we will see you back here at 7.